The popular perception was that capital punishment, such as the death penalty, was not carried out on the weaker sex. From a historical point of view, sad as it may be, this is not true. At certain periods of human existence, women could be punished even more severely than men. So what could a woman be executed for in the Soviet Union? In the Russian Empire, death as a punishment was applied to individuals who had already reached the age of 21 and were no older than 70. A woman could receive such a sentence for an attempt on the life of the emperor and his loved ones. But now there are mass coups, the emperor is overthrown, and new power is established. Now women criminals did not receive such an indulgence. Already since 1992 a girl could not be shot just because she was pregnant. This law reads as follows: it is not possible to sentence to execution persons who were under the age of 18 at the time of the crime and women who are pregnant. Despite the existence of this law, there are many facts that prove that at certain times in the existence of the USSR the article was violated. Unfortunately, during the Stalinist regime the number of so-called saboteurs and enemies of the people exceeded millions. 500,000 women were arriving in Soviet camps at the time of 1950. With the coming to power of Nikita Sergeyevich Khrushchev, there was a so-called moment of liberalization. In the common people it is used to be called Khrushchev's thaw. In the post-war period, a lot of women were sentenced to death. Fortunately, only 3 citizens were executed. All 3 court cases were sensational. They were written about in all the newspapers and broadcast on the airwaves. So let's find out who the last women executed in the Soviet Union were. The first woman on the list was Tonka machine gunner. A terrible story that is known to many. Antonina Makarova, known as Tonka the machine gunner, was an executioner for the Nazis during World War II. During her tenure, she took the lives of about 1,500 people. Among them were children as well as women and the elderly. The second woman on the list was the poisoner Tamara Ivanutina. For about a dozen years this woman killed people with a special chemical called thallium. The third woman is Berta Borodkina, who stole 1 million rubles from the state. At that time it was fabulous money. The money was laundered through networks of canteens and restaurants. To sum up, compared to the number of men executed during the same period from 1962 to 1989, 3 women are a drop in the bucket. 24,000 men received the sentence. The trend away from the death penalty as the ultimate punishment grew with the collapse of the USSR. Today, most post-Soviet countries have completely abandoned the so-called tower.